In 1961, a classified deep space probe sent by an interstellar archaeological team transmitted a series of symbols before going dark near a long-dead system. When decoded years later, those symbols translated into an eerie message: "Beware the Fireborn from the Blue World." At first, the Galactic Council dismissed it as the dying words of a forgotten race. But as humanity began launching satellites, detonating nuclear weapons, and stepping onto other celestial bodies, that message started resurfacing in ancient ruins, lost archives, and forbidden prophecies. They all warned of one thing, and it wasn't black holes, hostile AI, or deadly plagues. It was us. Long before we ever reached the stars, alien civilizations had already studied us, or at least predicted us. One ancient race, the Jetari, known for their visions across time and space, claimed to have seen a species born of chaos and fire, destined to rise from the third planet of a yellow sun. They didn't fear our weapons. They feared something worse: our relentless will. A force so unpredictable and resilient, it could either unite the galaxy or unravel it. And now, the galaxy watches in silence, waiting to see if the prophecy was a warning or a curse. Ancient alien prophecy warned about one thing: humans. The discovery in the year 2043. The Galactic Council authorized a deep space excavation mission to the ruins of Zalvarez, an ancient and long-abandoned planet located on the edge of the Orion Spur. The mission, carried out by the Varellan Union, a species known for their dedication to archaeology and historical preservation, had no expectations beyond dusty relics and structural data. But what they found instead sparked a mystery that shook the galaxy. Deep inside a subterranean vault, sealed beneath layers of radiation-soaked rock, the Varellans unearthed crystalline tablets, older than any other known artifact in the galaxy. These weren't mere relics. They emitted low-frequency vibrations, a sign of stored quantum data. Using a mix of ancient dialect reconstruction and advanced AI decryption, the scientists decoded the first full message. It read, "Beware the Fireborn. They come from the third planet of the blue star. They do not stop. They do not yield. They are not bound by the laws that bind the rest." No species in the Galactic Index fit the description. The third planet of the blue star became a puzzle that took months to unravel. Eventually, a human xenolinguist on loan from Earth, Dr. Eliza Tran, made the connection. The blue star. Its soul, the third planet, is Earth. They were talking about us. The Zatari prophets, the creators of the warning, were eventually identified as the Zatari, a now extinct species who had once been revered across galactic civilizations. With translucent skin and elongated skulls, the Zatari possessed an unrivaled ability to perceive time non-linearly. Through a combination of bioengineered neural enhancements and quantum field manipulation, they could see potential futures and divergent timelines, a practice their own culture described as threadwalking. The Zatari were not warriors or empire builders. They were seers, philosophers, and historians of possibility. They had never engaged in interstellar war. Their purpose was preservation, not conquest. Their warnings, when they came, were rare and often cryptic. But every one of their predictions recorded in the galactic archives had come true. Their last prophecy was the most urgent. In a series of encoded glyphs preserved in different corners of their once sprawling civilization, a pattern emerged. From the ashes of their own world, they will rise. They shall tame fire, split atoms, and reach for the stars. But they do not come in peace. They are not born of balance. They are born of will. Many in the Galactic Council dismissed the prophecy at first, calling it poetic metaphor. But as humanity began to rapidly ascend, first breaking the sound barrier, then walking on the moon, and finally colonizing Mars, by 2037, the tone changed. The humans weren't just evolving. They were accelerating at an unprecedented rate. The nature of the threat, like many advanced species, Humans evolved on a death world, a planet where survival demanded creativity, aggression, and resilience. Earth was plagued with natural disasters, hostile weather, microbial threats, and predation. Yet, instead of being eradicated, humans adapted. They thrived. Their brains developed rapidly in response to their hostile environment. But so did their tendencies toward conflict. Over 95% of known intelligent species developed under stable planetary conditions and evolved to prioritize harmony. By contrast, humans evolved under pressure. Their mythology glorified struggle. Their history was written in cycles of war and peace. They annihilated each other over ideas, borders, and beliefs, yet each time they rebuilt stronger. By 2101, Earth had stabilized under a global peace initiative. But even that peace was maintained through threat of mutually assured destruction. The paradox of human behavior wasn't lost on galactic scholars. They destroy to preserve. They fight to protect. They kill to save. This duality made humanity hard to classify. Were they protectors or predators? Heroes or harbingers? The only constant was that they endured. Even the harshest setbacks, global pandemics, nuclear brinkmanship, environmental collapse failed to erase them. In fact, such challenges seemed to empower them. Galactic response, the re-emergence of the Chitauri prophecy reignited debates within the Galactic Council. Should humanity be contacted, monitored, or contained? In 2117, a covert mission was launched. A cloaked Virellan reconnaissance probe entered Earth's orbit to observe without interference. What they recorded astounded them. Human society was volatile, yes, but also deeply innovative. Within mere decades, they had achieved what took other species millennia: artificial intelligence, interplanetary travel, genetic modification, quantum computing. The final report highlighted a curious trait. When humans faced impossible odds, they didn't retreat. They adapted. In simulations where other species accepted defeat, humans reconfigured their strategy until they found a way forward. It wasn't brute strength that made them dangerous. It was their refusal to accept limits. The report concluded, "The prophecy does not warn of malice. It warns of inevitability. The Fireborn will not destroy the galaxy out of hatred, but because they cannot help but grow." A balanced view, yet not all galactic scholars agreed with the fearful interpretation. Dr. Malak Harichan of the Talari ThinkSpace presented a different perspective. Asterisk prophecies are not certainties. They are warnings shaped by fear. Perhaps the Zayatari saw humanity's potential for both creation and destruction. What if they feared not just our violence, but our moral complexity? Humans, after all, were also capable of extraordinary empathy. They mourned foreign tragedies, rescued endangered species, volunteered aid to strangers across borders. Their literature and art were filled with themes of redemption, sacrifice, and compassion. They questioned themselves constantly, a trait almost absent in most other species. The Zayatari prophecy, then, may not have been a condemnation, but a challenge. They are not bound by the laws that bind the rest. That line could be a fear of chaos or an awe of possibility. Humanity was not predictable, but perhaps that unpredictability was what the galaxy needed. Where order had led to stagnation, humanity could bring evolution. First contact, by 2134, the Council decided on a cautious form of first contact. An encrypted message, broadcast from a hidden satellite in Earth orbit, was sent in 243 human languages. It introduced the existence of the Galactic Council, acknowledged the Zayatari prophecy, and invited a human delegation to a neutral station orbiting Proxima Centauri. The response from Earth came 72 hours later. It wasn't a message, it was a ship. The Artemis Ascendant, Earth's first near-light-speed diplomatic cruiser, arrived at Proxima Station within 18 days of the message, utilizing an experimental quantum field drive. The ship's captain, Amina Okoro, was both a military strategist and humanitarian advocate. Her first words upon docking were, "We heard you, let's talk." What followed was the most significant diplomatic exchange in galactic history. Humanity was officially welcomed into the interstellar community, with both caution and hope. The Council placed restrictions on certain technologies, but also opened cooperation in science, medicine, and education. Legacy of the Fireborn today, in 2198, the prophecy of Vijay Tari still echoes in debates and discussions. Some still fear humanity's capacity for disruption. Others see in us the beginning of a new galactic age. Humanity has indeed changed the balance. In just 60 years, they've shared agricultural technology that ended famine on 3 council worlds, led peacekeeping missions that halted civil war on others, and introduced artistic forms that have sparked cultural revolutions. But they have also brought new tensions, challenging council bureaucracy, refusing to bow to long-held protocols, and exporting technologies many believe were too advanced to be shared. Perhaps that is the destiny of the Fireborn. To bring not just change but choice. To shake the old assumptions and ask dangerous questions. Are we builders or destroyers? Liberators or colonizers? The answer may not lie in the stars, but in how we choose to act among them. One thing is certain, the Jaturi were right about one thing. The humans are not bound by the laws that bind the rest. They are something new, and the galaxy will never be the same again.